Do you ever have one of those dreams where you're supposed to do something important and like you're naked? I had the craziest dream last night that I was doing my 200 subscriber Q&A and I was completely naked and had no idea. Am I dreaming? It's Drewski McGillicuddy's 200 subscriber Q&A! Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and you're probably wondering why I'm sitting here. Well, let's get started and you'll find out. What is Sarah's, this is from Rebecca Reinhardt. She wants to know, what is Sarah's favorite horror movie, and why is she never on camera? Fine, you goddamn hillbilly. Come over here and answer your own question.
Hi everybody, I'm not Drewski McGillicuddy.
That's why. Look at her.
I'm awkward.
She's a big fucking dork. Anyway, what is Sarah's favorite horror movie?
I would have to say that my favorite horror movie is probably Hellbound Hellraiser 2.
That's a good answer. And why are you never on camera?
I am now.
All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, and sorry about that intro. I filmed that the other day. I thought it would be funny. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Brad Thornton. He wants to know, which Night of the Living Dead ending do you prefer? Wait a minute, you're supposed to do that. That's the whole reason that you're in the video. But before we go any further, let's go ahead and stop this. We're going to check and make sure we don't look retarded. All right, I guess that looks good enough. If you noticed the background shifted a little bit, it's because, don't worry about it, deal with it. All right, we're going to go on to Brad Thornton's question. Ask it again in case, just... This is why. We're going to try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll just kick her out.
Which Night of the Living Dead ending do you prefer? 1990 or the original, specifically regarding the fate of Ben?
Well, the original was definitely more shocking and unexpected, but I'm going to have to go with the remake, especially, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it. My favorite part is when he sits down and goes to light a cigarette and he finds the gas pump key. And then he just throws the cigarette out, doesn't even smoke it. But yeah, I'd have to go with the 1990 remake, which I don't know whether I should go ahead and review that next or just go to Dawn of the Dead, because I was thinking I could do night and then dawn and then dawn and then day, but I don't want to have to watch Day of the Dead remake again. Anyway, next question, please.
Next question is from Cody Leach.
Cody Leach asked me a question.
What's your favorite movie ending?
That's a really hard question, dude. I'm gonna have to just go with Irreversible, because it's so beautiful the way that movie just starts out so blood-curdlingly,
Violent.
Yeah. And then it's got one of the most beautiful ending beginnings ever. And if not that, I'd have to say, oh my God. The ending of Dawn of the Dead's pretty fucking good. So, yeah, let's just, I'm cheating. Dawn of the Dead. But yeah, if not Irreversible, because just the way that movie comes full circle, of course it plays completely backwards. Anyway, we're probably going to have to shoot this again because,
Probably. Next is Zach Hall. If you were to star in a horror movie, which one would you star in?
Well, I'd like to star in a remake of Night of the Living Dead that doesn't suck. I mean, thank God for the 90s version, but I feel like it could be remade today and done properly. Yeah. Maybe I should direct it too. I don't know. I got an old farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. If I had like 10 or 15 people to help me, I can pay you with beer and ham sandwiches. So let me know in the comments section if you'll work for beer and ham sandwiches. We'll go remake Night of the Living Dead, and it'll be awesome. We need.
You already have an awkward-looking blonde too.
She could play Barbara.
I could.
All right.
All right. Next is.
Except she can't scream.
I can't scream. Matt Vickery, what's your most underrated zombie film, and what do you like about it?
Well, it's not so much as underrated as it is like lesser known, and it'll probably be on one of my upcoming lists of stuff you probably don't know about. It's called Hide and Creep, and it's extremely low budget, but it's kind of a spoof, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's hilarious, and I love it. It has some of the best comedy, that you could put in a zombie movie. It might even be better than Shaun of the Dead. Might be better than Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, so Hide and Creep. Look it up.
Next is Ashley Grady. If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
See, I'll probably be able to cut some of this out.
I'm hoping.
Thinking. There's so many movies that I could say, but...
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Shut up. I haven't even seen that. Yeah, sorry. Musicals aren't my thing. I'm going with Step Brothers. I mean, every time I watch that movie, I laugh. I mean, I could watch it over and over again. It would either be Step Brothers or Dazed and Confused, because I used to watch that movie over and over again.
All right, next is Courtney Calcutt. What are some movies that actually scared you or at least freaked you out at some point?
Let's see, there's The Gate. That's probably the first one. We got Grave Encounters. In the Mouth of Madness, Lee. So hopefully when you watch that, you watch it by yourself in the dark, and I hope it's raining and thunderstorming outside, because that'd be perfect, because that's when it was raining and thunderstorming outside when I watched it. So I picked the perfect time to watch it. Can you think of anything else where I said hold me? That just made me uncomfortable,
Freaked you out.
Oh, and The Descent. The Descent literally scared the shit out of me. I had to go change my underwear.
And then
see, her laugh's really awkward too, so I don't know.
Hopefully I say this right. Nick Puccia.
Puccia.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Well, for me, only one. But for the owl, 3.
What is your favorite Halloween/haunted house costume that you've ever done?
Actually, it's probably when I was running around in my underwear and I got yelled at for running around in my underwear. But, it was hot. Like, both, literally, figuratively, and... Literally and figuratively. So, yeah, I was running around.
And it was lights out, so...
I was running around with a turd, a fake turd, telling people that I pooped my pants. I found my poop, but I can't find my pants. It was, spur of the moment sort of thing. Don't worry about it.
All right, Lee McCoy asks, what is your favorite holiday that doesn't take place in October? That's easy.
Christmas! Come check out my wish list. Are you hip to Krispy Kreme? Because that's one of the best Christmas songs of all time, and a lot of people aren't hip to it. Maybe I have it and I can play it.
Christmas, come check out my wish list. Have I been a good boy? That's none of your business. I just want some good toys. Can I get a witness? Got all of my homies yelling Christmas.
Krispy Kreme. What the hell's the song called? Krispy Kreme Christmas, I guess. Yeah.
But yes,
not to be confused with the donuts.
Christmas is his favorite holiday.
Yeah, I have like a fucking ridiculous Santa Claus collection.
And snowmen. Crazy. Amy Blair wants to know, what is your favorite subgenre of horror? And also, are you a fan of the Evil Dead movies?
Well, let's answer the second one first. Yes, I'm a fan of the Evil Dead movies. I go back and forth with trying to decide if I like the remake better than the original. But the more I think about it, there's way better scenes in the remake, but that ending was god awful, and everybody knows it. I mean, what a mediocre climax. That thing was built up the whole time, comes out of the ground. Oh, she flips the car on it and then saws its face off. Or yeah. Psh. I mean, it could have been like 10 minutes longer, and they could have put some actual suspense to it, and I think it would have been better and benefited from it. Anyway.
All right, the next question
What, is that all you got on your little notepad?
Yeah,
she said, I'm a secretary, so I should read them off of a notepad to be more authentic.
And then he said, we ain't got time for that shit. Just read them off your phone.
All right, hurry up.
Anyway, the next question comes from Sarah Bolser. If you could go back in time and see one movie in its original theatric run, which movie would that be, and would you choose a theater or drive-in to see it at?
Well, being that I've never been to the drive-in, I'm going to obviously pick drive-in.
I'm going to make a watermelon video next from that.
I'm going to have to go with the original Nightmare on Elm Street because, I mean, that movie is practically flawless, and it's one of my all-time favorite horror movies, so I would have to, that or Dawn of the Dead, but I've already seen Dawn of the Dead in the theater because my buddy used to work at this little one-screen theater. It was built in the 1850s or whatever, and it was haunted by midgets, and it was scary, but I didn't watch the movie because I drank a bottle of mezcal and then started chasing everybody with a leaf blower. But don't worry, it wasn't like the general public, it was all of us from the haunted house. So yeah, it was funny.
At least I got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Alright, the next one is from Wolfman's Gotten Arts. He would like to know, do you prefer Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead to Romero's?
Who asked me that?
Wolfman.
What the fuck kind of a question is that? Alright, next question. No, I'm kidding. Obviously I prefer the original, but I was thoroughly impressed with Zack Snyder's version. He gets a lot of flack for, I guess, Batman v Superman, but I loved Man of Steel. It was a lot better than Superman Returns. I do wish they would have got his suit right. First of all, he was missing his red underwear and his yellow belt. Also, his suit's not navy blue. It's fucking baby blue to sky blue. So get that fucking right. Please, thank you. I'll even accept royal blue.
Now, Ryan Klosterman would like to know more about how you got started at the Dent Schoolhouse.
Well, this little pudgely Ozzy Osbourne looking motherfucker one day. Actually, I started at this place called Dungeons of Delhi. It was for it was a charity haunt. We didn't get paid. We did it for fun. And then I was too intense for them. So they told me, you're crazy. Get the fuck out of here. So Danny comes along one day, or Damian Reaper. Sorry, Danny. I like to make fun of you. He comes along one day and says, hey, I worked at the Dent Schoolhouse. You should come work at the Dent Schoolhouse. So I went and started working at the Dent Schoolhouse in 2007. I even fucking wore this ridiculous makeup because that asshole told me, oh, you probably get the job if you dress up like a fucking jackass. So I dressed up like a jackass and went and had my audition. The funny thing is, I'll be honest, when I first went through Dungeons of Delhi, I cried and had to be taken out. I was in like 6th grade. The next year, I was working there. I conquered my fears, and I went and I started working there. And Danny, he started working there with me, but the whole time he worked there, he was too afraid to walk through the house. But then we eventually got him to walk through the house, but he was terrified of the electric chair because it was like a realistic looking guy in an electric chair getting electrocuted, smoke come off of him and everything. Next question.
Okay. Awesome Aaron 366 would like to know, he's got a 2-part question. How did you gain confidence in doing YouTube? And what advice would you give a shy person that wants to do reviews on movies on YouTube and maybe not just the answer of just do it?
Just do it! But no, I've always had the confidence. It was just like, I was like, is it going to be good enough on my phone? What am I going to do? I don't have a fucking tripod. I I don't know how to edit videos. I don't have any editing software. And then, you know, as you go along, you get nice people like Tiffany, Lilith Quinn. Is that how you say her name? I guess it is. Yeah. She was like, hey man, there's this thing. And I checked that thing out. And then somebody else had sent me Adobe Premiere.
I think so.
And I can't remember his name, but I am really grateful for that. But I still haven't got a laptop. I gotta set up my Patreon. I gotta start putting in like 90 hours a week at work. And then I'll be able to get a laptop because, you know, poor white trash. Was that it? Was that all the questions?
No. Next we have...
No.
from him,
Did I
yeah.
answer? Did I answer the question? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you answered the question.
Okay.
Next we've got Donnie Morale. Do you prefer the less is more approach or the more gore, the better, or a mixture of both?
I'm glad you asked. I prefer a mixture of both. Hostile is a bit too much. But I remember when I saw the original Friday the 13th, it was edited for television. And just the way they, you know, show and then cut away or show like the blood splatter on the wall. I like that. That's very artistic. And then I finally watched the uncut version and it actually shows throats being slit and stuff like that. And that's fun too. But when it's like graphic and gory, like overkill, I don't necessarily need that, but you know, I don't really care. I can't. I'm one of the types of people that I can watch the fake shit, but if it's but even if it's fake, I can't watch Achilles tendon. Fuck that. Or fingernails. Fuck fingernails. But I couldn't watch like those operation channels back in the day where they were showing people getting operated on. That's disgusting. I can't look at that.
All right. Joseph Lionel wanted to know, how many rabid raccoons do you use in making yourself up for your videos? It's 2, isn't it? 2 of them?
No, hold on. We're going to show this clip.
Hey, Lois, I don't get how this works. It's just a hole. I don't think it goes anywhere. No, it definitely doesn't go anywhere. Oh! Oh, God! Oh, it's everywhere! Ah! It's in my raccoon wounds! Oh, God!
I don't know if that answers the question, but...
All right, now his serious question. Considering your background in haunted house work, do you feel modern horror is trending towards a more haunted house scare tactics style compared to older slow burn horror movies? And do you feel that's good or should remain a purview of things like haunted houses that need to work quicker to get out of the frightening moments?
How many fucking times do I have to tell you to stop using big words all the time? I only understood some of that, okay? But here's the best answer I can give you for what I grasps. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's part of the problem. But see, in my scene at the haunted house, I hate even using jump scares down there. Sure, I'll pop up and boo you, but I like to make you like uneasy right off the bat. What I do, I probably don't have a good picture of it, but there's an archway, and it's a little type of corridor, and I stand there where you can see me plain as day underneath a little flickering light, and I wait for you to start walking towards me. And a lot of people think I'm fake at first, and then I walk away slowly, like real slow, like as if I were Jason or Michael, and I disappear. And then, you know, as they walk along, I walk up behind maybe the second or third person that walks past me, and when I speak, I'll use words like or you know, so I can blow on them. And I'm like, "Where are you going, sweet lips?" And it'll scare the fuck out of them. And old people really like it because apparently back in the day, Sweet Lips was like gay or something. I don't know.
It was an insult.
We'll cut that out, but yeah. But then one time somebody tried to beat me up for calling their wife Sweet Lips. It's like, motherfucker, I'm not trying to pick up your wife. I'm an actor acting in a haunted attraction. So calm down. Plus your wife's fucking fat. Anyway, no offense against fat bitches. I love fat bitches.
Anyway, the next question is from VHS Queen.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I didn't even think she watched this channel anymore.
I meant to ask, I always wondered how you came up with Drewski McGillicuddy. Obviously, Andrew Drewski. But the McGillicuddy part.
Well, this black guy that used to work with me, Cedrico, he used to call me Drewski all the time, and it just kind of stuck. And my dad used to call me McGillicuddy when I was little, I guess because Lucille Ball, Lucy McGillicuddy, that was her name on the show, right?
No.
Well, where the fuck did McGillicuddy come from?
Dr. McGillicuddy's famous liquor.
No. But anywho, so one day I was at work, and I worked on the computer all the time, and I saw this picture, and it was hilarious, so I made it my profile picture. And I thought, I need to change my name to fit that picture. Probably can't find the picture, but maybe we'll look through and show you the picture. I don't want to tell you what it is, just in case I do find it. If not, I'll have a worded description pop up and tell you. Anyway, yeah, so Drewski McGillicuddy. It rolls off the fucking tongue, doesn't it?
Not at first. At first I hated that you changed it to that because it was terrible.
Well, hurry up.
Anyway.
I don't want a 31-minute video.
The next question is from Brian Roby.
Fuck that guy. What does Brian want to know?
Here's a question for you. I finally watched Dawn of the Dead. Explain to me why it is so great. It is no Texas Chainsaw Massacre, buddy, or House Party 2.
What? What? Motherfucker! You want to die? Oh God, I hope that's right. I hope it's okay. I hope.
Yeah, I see you on it, so.
Oh yeah, I can see myself in the reflection back there. Shut up, Frank! Hurry up and ask the question.
Okay. This is from Johnny Boy. Do you have any memories of maybe your first horror movie and whom you watched it with?
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I realize that Night of the Living Dead has to, because I was in like first, maybe even kindergarten, or first or second grade. A guy named Charles Malott. We used to be best friends, but now he's kind of gives me the creeps. Yeah, I hadn't seen him in a long time, and then when I did see him, I was like, okay. But hopefully he's not watching this. He's like, oh no, son of a bitch! I knew that was fucking it. Anyway, so yeah, I remember going over his house after school one day, and it happened to be on TV, and we sat there and watched it, and I fell in love with it. Now, I had probably seen Universal Monsters before that, but that's the first one I remember watching from beginning to end and being glued to the screen and being infatuated with it. And then once I discovered the Nightmare on Elm Streets and Friday the 13th, it was over. And then you had Joe Bob Briggs, Monster Vision, USA Up All Night, all that stuff. Oh my God. I mean, I was the right age at the right time to watch the best of the best of the best. And then we had like stuff like Network Video where, they got the VHS copies of every horror movie ever made that you can't find anymore today, unless you know Jason Smith on a personal level.
Alright, this one is from Lisa Loves. Alright, movies everyone else loves and you hate and vice versa.
First of all, I have a video about the vice versa part. But this took me like 3 days to think of, because I mean, I love most movies that everybody else probably loves, except the Hobbit movies. Of course, I haven't seen the second or third one. Sorry, Jason, but that first one, even she fucking fell asleep, dude. Even she fucking fell asleep. And unfortunately, I know I haven't seen Return of the King yet either. But I did love the first 2 Lord of the Ring movies. I just don't know why I haven't. I'm waiting to watch it on Blu-ray. I guess that's my fucking excuse. And as soon as I find it on Blu-ray, we'll watch it. But to answer your question, Lisa, I hate Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Matthew Broderick is just the worst fucking thing ever. He's worse than Skeet Ulrich. A lot of you might not get that fucking joke, but I ain't got time to explain it to you. Moving along.
All right. Any movie where they went too far?
Irreversible. If you haven't seen Irreversible, watch that shit. Or don't. I actually can't really recommend that movie, but yeah, Irreversible went too far. Martyrs probably went too far. Inside might have went a little too far. Any French movie that you've ever seen probably gone too far. Oh, and The Last House in the Woods. That was a little much. And that's a very underrated movie. And if you don't know what The Last House in the Woods is, it's basically an homage to like Fulci and Wes Craven at the same time, which is weird because you would think Fulci would be with Romero or something, but this is like The Last House on the Left meets The Hills Have Eyes meets Italian Grindhouse gore. It's Italian. They speak Italian. But yeah, you know, if you haven't seen it, look it up. It's got like a 4.6 for some reason. Probably because of the terrible cinematography, but other than that, the movie's pretty solid.
All right, last one.
Thank God.
It's from Jack Palace. Anyway, he has 2 questions for you. It says, you reviewed a couple of action movies, so I assume you're a fan of the genre. What are your top 5 action flicks?
Oh, that's something you're just going to have to wait for because I've been working on it, but it's a really hard list. I don't know if you've ever been in the 80s, but there's two, like I might even have to separate it into decades because there's just so many, and then maybe do an overall, and I have to pick one from the 80s, one from the 90s, one from the 2000s, one from the 2010s, and one from now. Or I guess the 70s had some good action movies. I don't know. That's a tough question, and that's something I'm gonna have to sit down and think about and write on paper over and over and over and over again until I get it right. But I'll tell you what. Here's a spoiler, and this movie will be disqualified from the list. John Wick 2 might possibly be the greatest action movie of all time. I put off watching that movie for the longest time. I love the first one, which is funny because I thought the first one was going to suck. And then when I watched that, it blew my mind. But then I was like, there's no way that the second one could be as good as the first one. And then it ended up being better than the first one in almost every way. So yeah, if you haven't seen John Wick 2, shit.
All right,
are we
part
done?
2.
Oh my God.
My second question is, since you love zombie movies, what are your thoughts on Maggie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I haven't seen it. I rented it like 5 times, never got around to watching it. I do that a lot. I go rent movies and then I scroll through Netflix for 4 hours and then I end up not watching nothing. I rent movies, then I stream and don't watch nothing. I can't help it. It's a bad habit.
Alright, I believe that's it.
I mean, I can't believe I just watched Night of the Living Dead like 3 days apart and I haven't watched anything else. And I'm supposed to be some kind of fancy YouTube reviewer. I'm really bad at this. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video. Comment below if you feel like it. You know, I feel like a lot of people just keep their shit to themselves. That's all right. And Brian Roby, get pistol whipped.
Z.